Hello folks, so this is a continuation of my previous video where I have discussed question from 1 to 30. In this video I will discuss questions starting from 31 to 60. But before that, tomorrow is your exam, so all the best to all who are preparing for the exam, and whatever you are doing, whatever you are studying, complete it by late afternoon. Don't read anything in the evening. Give some time to yourself for evening. Relax, go to somewhere, go to some park, and don't read anything in the evening time. It will confuse you only. So let's start with the questions. So first is, Ethernet uses how many byte physical address that is imprinted on the network interface card? So this is, they are asking about NIC card addresses. So we know NIC card is 6 byte or 48 bit address. So answer is option D, 6 byte. Next is, how can you change Singh into Gupta in the last name column in the persons table? So we know update query we need to run to change it. So the syntax of update query I have given in previous video, but let's see again. So what is the syntax? Update table name, then we have to write set, then column name is equal to whatever we want to write, and if somewhere clause there, then where. So here what it will be there? Update, then table name. What is the table name? Persons. So update persons, then set, then column name. What is the column name? Last name. So update persons, set last name, we have to set it to the Gupta, is equal to Gupta. Now whose last name we have to change to Gupta? The last name where last name is Singh. So where last name is equal to Singh. So let's see what is the correct option. So we have two updates, C and D. Update person says last name is equal to Singh into, no, into is not there, plus we have to set Gupta. So option D is update person set last name is equal to Gupta where last name is equal to Singh. So this is absolutely correct option. So option is option D. Next is, what is the maximum number of super keys for the relation schema? Relation is giving having x, y, z, w, 4 attributes with x as the key. Okay, so they are asking for super key. So what is the way? X is the key. What else can be the key? Because it's super key, we have to find all the keys. So other can be xy, then xz, then xw, then xyz, then xyw, then xzw, and last is xyzw. So total is 8. So correct answer is option C, 8. Next is, in a schema with attributes A, B, C, D and E, following set of functional dependencies are given. A is deriving B, A is deriving C, CD is deriving E, B is deriving D, E is deriving A. Which of the following functional dependencies is not implied by the above set? So here we have to check all the options. So first, AC is deriving BC. So let's check what AC can derive. C. C can derive C, we know, and in the first it is given A is deriving B. So we know AC can derive BC. So this is correct. This is implied. Next, CD deriving AC. So by C we can say C can derive C, but whether D can derive A or CD completely can derive anything. So here we can see CD can derive E and E can derive A. So we can say CD compositely can derive A also, and C alone can derive C also. So CD can derive AC. So this is also correct. Next is BC is deriving CD. Let's see this. See, here we have given a dependency B can derive D. So B can derive D and C alone can derive C. So this is also correct. Next is BD can derive CD. So we can see D can derive D, but whether B or BD can derive C. Let's see. We don't, yeah, B can derive D only, and there is nothing which D can derive or BD can derive. So this is not implied. So this will be the correct answer. We cannot derive CD by BD with these dependencies. I hope it is clear. So what we have to see is only two things we have to remember. First is anything alone can derive itself. So A can derive A at least, and by combining we have to see what are the dependencies are given, and if we are combining anything, whether something can be derived or not. That's how we have to find. Next is, in IPv4 addressing format, the number of networks allowed under class C addresses is. correct answer is 2 to the power 21. So in class C, we know 24 bits are for network and 8 bits are for host ID. And in 24, first 3 is reserved as 110. So remaining is 21. So number of addresses are 2 to the power 21. Next is the pre-order traversal of a binary search tree is given. Which one of the following is post-order traversal? So in pre-order traversal, how we travel? First we traverse root, then left, then right. And in post-order, left, then right, and then root. Okay, so we know first we have to travel root in pre-order. So this is the root, main root. So in post-order, the main root should come in last. So we have to see 15 is coming in last in which option. So option B is there, option D is there. And we are talking about binary search tree. So left subtree will be less than root. So whatever is less than 15, that will come to the left subtree. So 10, 11, 12, these are left part, and 16, 20, 18, 19, these are right subtree. So in post order, first left will come. So left should be 10, 11, 12. We have to see where 10, 11, 12 is coming first, and after that right will come. 20, 18, 19 should come after that. So here if you will see on option D, right subtree is coming first. But in option B, left subtree is coming first, then right subtree is coming, and then root is coming. So the correct answer is option B. Next is, in a connected planar graph, if number of vertices are 4, edges is equal to 6, find number of regions. So what is the Euler formula for this? V plus R is equal to 2 plus E. So V vertices are 4 plus R we have to find out is equal to 2 plus E. E means edges. 2 plus 6 means 8. So what is the region? R is equal to 8 minus 4 is equal to 4. So answer will be 4. And we can see also, this is a planar graph. This is having 4 vertices and 6 edges. So how many regions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what they are asking. What will the output of below code? Okay. So let's see. M is equal to 10 is given. N and N1. N is equal to plus plus M. So here N what? N and M. M will be 10 here only. Sorry, N will be 11. And after that N will be 11 also here. Then N1 will become M plus plus. N1 will become here 11. Then after this expression, M's value will become 12. Then N minus minus. So N was 11. Now here N will become 10. Minus minus N1. Here N1 was 11. So here N1 will also become 10. N minus is equal to 1 means N is equal to N minus N1. So when N is equal to N minus N1, we will do N was also 10, N1 was also 10, then N will become 0 here. And we have to print N. So answer will be 0. A is the correct answer here. Next is, which of the following stores metadata about the structure of database? So what is metadata? Metadata is data about data, and those things are stored in data dictionary. So DDL interpreter is used to create metadata. Next is, one of the fault based testing technique is, so that is mutation testing. So what is this mutation testing? In mutation testing, we generally by ourselves create some fault in the code, and we have to see whether the testing techniques can detect that fault or not. That is known as mutation testing. Next is match the following. Okay. So first is physical layer. So physical layer deals with bits. So A will come to S. Next is network layer. Network layer deals with packets. Third is transport layer. Transport layer deals with error control and flow control. And dialog control is the responsibility of session layer. So option will be A S B P C Q D R. So correct answer is A S B P C Q D R, option C. A S B P, yeah. Session layer, okay. Next is multiplexing is performed at dash layer of OSI model. So multiplexing is performed at transport layer. What does this mean? Suppose there is a host, okay, or a computer. So it can do many things, like I can open a web page also, I can run WhatsApp also here, I can open, I can connect it to something else. Or suppose this is our phone, we can do many things. WhatsApp can also be done, we can play video, we can open a web page. So for everything there are different ports are defined. Like for FTP some other port is there. Then for HTTP some other ports are there. So all the requests can come together and all will go to this place. So here multiplexing will work. I hope this is clear. TFTP uses dash transport protocol. So TFTP is a UDP and FTP is a TCP. Next is a testing approach to determine the stability of deployed product or release is known as smoke testing. Where the whatever we are developed or whatever the build is there which is deployed is stable or not, that we do with smoke testing. Next is, in this software model, software is developed in incremental rapid cycles. This results in small releases, okay, with each as building of previous functionality. This is the part of agile. Next is, to communicate between two hosts within same network, what are the minimal layers required to communicate? So they are asking for minimal layer. So within same network, if you want to communicate between two hosts, only physical and data link layer is sufficient. Network layer comes into place whenever we have to communicate between two different network. If we are communicating within same network, only physical and data link layer can do this. Next is, if a DNS server accepts and uses the wrong details from a host that has no authority giving the information, then this technique is called, this is known as DNS hijacking. Next is PGP, pretty good privacy, is used for. This is used for email security. Next question is, what is used to carry traffic of one protocol over the network that does not support that protocol directly? So we have discussed this. This is known as tunneling. Whenever the traffic need to be carried out between two different protocol system, tunneling is used. Next is the zero capacity queue. So what is zero capacity queue? Zero capacity queue is a system where there is no buffering. So the answer is referred to as a message system with no buffering. Option B is correct answer here. Next is, data must arrive exactly as it was sent to receiver from sender is called. This is known as integrity. Answer is option C, message integrity. Next is, which of the following refers to the copies of the same data or information occupying the memory space at multiple places? This is known as data redundancy. Next is, the term TCL stands for, very simple question, transaction control language. So option D, transaction control language. Next is, if an attribute of composite key is dependent on an attribute of other composite key, then normalization called dash is needed. This is Bcnf. What is Bcnf? Bcnf is telling if A is deriving B, so A must be super key. So what does this mean? If B is also a prime attribute, then A cannot be a prime attribute. If B is a prime attribute, then A cannot be a non-prime attribute. That's what it is telling for Bcnf. That's what they're asking also. If an attribute of composite key, suppose this is composite key, is dependent on an attribute of the other composite key, so this is known as Bcnf. So what is the difference between Bcnf and 3NF? 3NF is used for trivial dependency. So if telling if A is deriving B, so this is also non-prime and this is also non-prime. That's what we remove in third normal form. So Bcnf is just some stricter than 3NF. Next is, the entity set person is classified as student and employee. This is known as spatialization. and the reverse to this is generalization. So which relationship is used to represent a specialized entity? So that relationship is a. And which symbol is used? Triangle is used. Next is, in the dash normal form, a composite attribute is converted to individual attribute. This is first normal form. First normal form itself is linked that every column should have single value, not composite value. Next is, a table has field F1, F2, F3, F4 and F5 with the following functional dependency. F1 is deriving F3, F2 is deriving F4 and F1, F2 together deriving F5. In terms of normalization, this table is in. So this table is in first normal form. How? Because for second normal form, the criteria is we should not have any partial dependency. And what is partial dependency? Partial dependency, every non-prime attribute should be fully functional dependent of prime attribute. So here we can see F3, F4, F5 are non-prime attribute and F1, F2 are the prime attribute. So these are having partial dependencies. So if there is partial dependency, then table is not in two normal form. So if table is not in second normal form, then forget about third and fourth normal form. So the table is in first normal form. Next is worst time complexity of brick sort is. So for worst time complexity of brick sort is O(n) square. And the last question is the process of viewing the cross tab single dimension with a fixed value of one attribute. So whenever we have to see fixed value of one attribute, we use slicing. So learn about slicing, what is dicing, what is pivoting. These things we should know. So that's all for this session also. So once again, all the best for tomorrow exam. That's all for this video. If you have not subscribed the channel yet, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.